Hello and welcome to Anden's channel, my channel, and today I'm going to do a review-ish of Jumanji. That's right, when I traveled to Sweden, not only did I see more than just The Last Jedi, I also saw Jumanji. I'm still dealing with Swedish sickness, so that's why my voice is just like, ugh. So Jumanji was a movie that came out in 1995. It starred Robin Williams, and it was based on a children's book that came out like a decade earlier than that. And of course, most likely because it's Robin Williams, I think Jumanji has become sort of like a classic that people really like. That adults today, when they watch the movie as kids, they hold it dear to their heart. Jumanji came out when I was like a year old. I think I've only seen the movie when it was on TV. So for me, I was never upset about this new movie. I completely get the way people are just like, this isn't what Jumanji is supposed to be, what the fuck? But for me personally, I just went into the movie expecting like a fun little comedy about teenagers and video games based on what I saw in the trailer, and that's actually essentially what I got. So the movie actually starts out in 1996. The kid has the board game Jumanji. It evolves into like a Nintendo-esque console, like an early 90s like console with cartridges and everything. And then the kid there gets sucked into the video game, and ooh, mystery. And then we travel to 2017. Our main characters are 4 teenagers, and they're sort of, you know, stereotypical teenager. You know, we have the jock, we have the nerd, we have the popular girl, and then the antisocial girl. But honestly, I actually liked the teenagers. I can't remember their names. This movie had a lot of teenage humor, but what I liked about the teenage humor in the movie was that it's supposed to be exaggerated, especially with the popular girl, like her "where's my phone" and all of that when they're actually inside the Jumanji game. It didn't feel that exaggerated to me, all of the teenage humor. I was just like, yep, that is how teenagers act. Shit, we're fucked. So these 4 kids, they do something that makes it so that they end up in detention. They have to clean like up the basement because it's gonna be like a computer hall, and then they find the Jumanji console, you know, because it's not a board game anymore. And they each pick a character, and then they get sucked into the video game. And that's when the teenagers all switch up, and we now have like Jack Black, Dwayne Johnson, and Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan. And honestly, I actually liked the teenagers here in the movie. I hope that they get to do some more stuff, because I didn't think they were bad at all. I liked them. I could have seen like an entire movie with these people as teenagers almost, if it wasn't a Jumanji movie. The story is essentially, okay, we have this green rock, we have to get this green rock onto a panther statue, have to put that in there, yell Jumanji, and then it's game over. We also have this like one-dimensional bad guy who's chasing you. It was a very, very, very like bland and weak story, I would say. But I guess when you think of the story of the movie, that it should be a video game from the late 90s to the early 2000s, it does sort of make sense. I've recently played like Jak and Daxter, so that's sort of what I was having in my mind when they talked about, oh, we need to get to this level, oh, we need different levels, you know, because in Jak and Daxter you have like this open world map that you can just like continually walk through and everything. It's just seamless. And then of course you have one-dimensional bad guys. And I know the movie is called Into the Jungle. I personally would have liked to see more like different biomes almost, because they keep talking about these levels that like Jack Black's character can see, because she can read the map, because Jack Black's character is the popular girl. I feel like it was almost a missed opportunity to not make these different levels be a bit more different. Again, thinking about Jak and Daxter, you could have had like a level where, oh, now we have to get inside like a volcano. You could have like a lava level or something. Oh, we have to go up there in this mountain for some reason, and now it's like a snowy biome. That could have been cool, because it could have like changed the scenery a bit. The only real distinction I saw was when they were just like, oh, we have to do like a vehicle level now. Of course, since I love video games, I did like all of the video game references. They were of course referenced to earlier games, not games today, but it's still fun. In fact, I almost would have liked to see more game references, not characters from video games, but more like mechanics from games, the gameplay from games, because they really hammered it on in the beginning, you know, like, oh, we have 3 lives, oh, here's all your weaknesses and all of that, and oh, here's the cutscene. But I just feel like they could have done some more. Like if they did a whole like different biomes and stuff, they could have done like a snowy biome, and then they could have been like, so why are we wearing these clothes? They could have made at least one more like clothes joke there. And then Kevin Hart's character was wearing like a backpack all the time. I'm really surprised they didn't do the whole like, oh, I'm over encumbered joke, you know, the fact that he's carrying too many things and now he can't run at all. I feel like that was almost like a missed opportunity for a fun joke. And I assume it's because like the writers want them to hammer down like, oh, this is so weird, we're inside a video game, I'm not supposed to be this character, why am I a middle-aged man, why am I so small, hey, whoa. And that became more tiresome throughout the movie because they constantly talk about it. It's just like, okay, we get it. For Jack Black's character, I found it to be funny. I actually liked Jack Black's character. Because my type of humor, it's sort of like an everyday person type of humor. I can laugh at like the darkest of shit, but then I can laugh at like what Jack Black's character does in this movie, you know. It's very like all over the place, my humor. So, oh yeah, Nick Jonas is in this movie too. I was just like, what the fuck? That's Nick Jonas. He wasn't even bad in the movie at all. I was just so shocked to see him. Oh, whoa. That was a fun part too, when they walked inside like a dungeon. Nick Jonas' character was just like leading them through a dungeon, and then they had sort of like a Lara Croft thing happening there, Indiana Jones. That was a bit funny. There's really not much else to say about the movie. It's not really worth mentioning the story, because the story, you know, it's just like we have to get here, and then we have to get here, and then we succeed, and then the end, and everything is happy, and everything, yeah, blah blah. All in all, I find the movie to be like a perfectly little adequate comedy about teenagers being transported into like a video game, and then of course being in different characters' bodies and all of that. If I had to rate the movie on like a 10 base scale, it would probably 6.5 out of 10. This is not a movie that I'm gonna see again. Probably have it on as background if it's on like the TV or something. I'd probably have it there, you know, because there are some jokes where I can be just like, that's funny. Other than that though, it wasn't really something special at all, but it wasn't horrible. I mean, I get why people are upset, you know, because they really liked their Jumanji movie, and I would get this that's like, oh, it's another typical 2017 comedy movie, but hey, the original Jumanji movie is still there, it hasn't disappeared. People can just choose not to watch this one. Anyways, yeah, well, I want to know what you guys thought about Jumanji 2017 movie, or also the 1995 movie, if you've seen that as well. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I want to hear all of your opinions in the comment section down below, of course. And I'm gonna go now though, but I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys next. And I'm gonna take so many fucking throat pills and all that, I don't know what you call them in English, and I'm just gonna be like, please make me better. Goodbye.